What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, so I might do a video after this kind of test. So powered versus Nirnhoned results may vary, and I do mean that literally. So I'm on the Sork Healer. So I went ahead and crafted up Seducers. No traits. I just wanted to keep it kind of whatever. Yeah. So this one's powered. We're going to take a look at my tooltip. Combat Prayer 5967. Okay. Now, mind you, he's not done. And, you know, whatever. Now, because I've got to redo his trait, all sorts of stuff. But 5967, keep that in mind. Okay, now we're going to switch it out for Nirnhoned. Same staff, same color, right? Nothing changed except the trait. We're going to equip this. We're going to go back into the tooltip. 5967. It's indifferent on the Sork. I'm specifying this very clearly here. It's indifferent, meaning it's the same, on the Sorcerer. Why? Why is that happening? Because of the passives. Okay? It is literally the Expert Mage that makes up the indifferent value by 6%. So the Nirnhoned gives it the indifference. Had it not been for this scaled effect, this would supersede. So guess what that means? Because of this bonus and that bonus, I can literally get the Apprentice, and that's going to jump up significantly due to the scaling. So Nirnhoned on a Sorcerer is going to be very effective. Very effective. Because of the passive. Why we always say the scaling system is a determining factor in all builds. I love it. I actually I'm tickled pink. I am actually tickled pink. I've always have put this across and tried to very much so tell everybody you can't build them the same. And now even healing, it's even more prominent. It has been in the past because Nightblade, I was talking in the last stream, Nightblade healer you can't approach the same because if you do, you're going to screw up that build significantly. And of course the Sork, says, no. Guess what you're going to do? I have a passive for spell damage. So you're not going to put a powered staff on me. You will use Nirnhoned on me. Now, is that applied across the board? No. Absolutely not. God dang it. I should have went around the other way. It's fine. Blah. Stupid mobs. It's not like you're killing me. Get off. Getting my way shrine, I'm getting my Mundus. Anyways. So, results made. I need to go do my my but I wanted to do this. I was like, oh, shut up. They did it. They really have been, and also it makes it interesting because 3 of the traits can be applied similar, but based on each class in this change with the CP, every healer will have one different. I was like tickled pink. I was like, oh. It's amazing. Zoss, I'm giving it up for you for the CP again and again and again. Okay, so now we're up at 6-2, right? 6-2. Now, let's switch this back over to the powered. Go back in. And we're still indifferent. Yep. Still have the indifferent value here. It's pretty cool though. I'm tickled pink. I now let me show you guys why this was kind of important for me. Because last stream you guys saw me you know, switch up something. So let me show you guys something. So let's get out my banker. And we're gonna put these into the bank, and I'll get on the necro. Okay. All right. So we're gonna switch tunes. I thought this was just interesting. I you know, I love this type of stuff. I mean, ideally, what it is what it breaks down to. It's just very simple. It's just like, you know, powered is a powerful healing trait. But in some classes, the Nirnhoned will suffice. And then you can also put different applications. So it won't limit it just to the healing factor. So it's kind of a, you know, interesting scenario, because as a healer, the one thing you want to do is heal, obviously. But I found it interesting for this dude. Now that means also I don't have to like transmute this staff, because I can just get another staff and carry it over, and that's fine because I have another one. So, but yeah, he'll use a powered trait. This dude will, and let me show you why. Because we already did the last stream where I showed even with it was significantly lower. Now I did tweak a few things on this dude. That's why he's going to have a lot more. And that's something that's going to change. My members will get notifications of why these are different when I come out with each build. And trust me, when we, you know, min-max, if you like to call it that, I guess it is in a way, maximizing the potential of each class's role, we'll get it in. But, so.
How can I help?
Shit. It's on the other tune. Anyways. Alright. I gotta get... Damn it. Switching back. I hate when I do that. This was really good information. I was like, well, wait a minute. Okay. Alright. And then I logged on, and I was like, oh, snap. And I just got all giggly. I was like, he's indifferent. He's indifferent. That was so cool. I love when I see these things. Okay, I've said I'm a nerd, and I already know why. But of course, well, I like to go ahead. I like to be caught by surprise, and then I'll break down and be like, okay, now why? Because this percentage of this times that divide by, you know, whatever. But no, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm so happy. I'm so tickled pink. And I'm so happy now because there's one trait difference, or one champion slot difference between all heals. So not even all the healers will have the same champion layout. That is awesome. That 3 of them will be the same. I was just checking some of that out. But yeah, that 3 of them will be the same, you know, just for other practical reasons. But yeah, no, I was literally like, oh my god, that is so flipping cool. So seriously, yeah, I need the staff put in here, dude. Okay. All right. What the hell did I just do with... That's a lightning staff is why. Okay. The hell did I just... Oh boy. Oh my god. There. No, that's lightning staff. Alright. I'm losing my mind. I just must not have pulled it from the bank. Anyways, so really kind of cool though. I'll find it. It didn't just disappear. Unless it was on me. I think I swapped it back. Let me log back in. He doesn't have it on him. I know I don't have it on him. Anyways, better safe than sorry. But yeah, this is like some of the time eating stuff that I do. Cause like I've got to know. Like when I make any build, I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna slap everything on the same way and expect the same results. It just that just never happens in this game. It just never does. It never has. Healers have usually similar configurations. Because why? Because we use, support sets. But traits can differ, right? Based on passives. I've said there's been in different values. Mundus will change based on what? The same principle. And that I find amazing. I was like, oh, we have it a different value. We have it a different value. Yeah, he's got it on him. Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyways. Rest okay. That's why. Anyways, we'll put it in there. This was amazing. Like, this was simply phenomenal. Just to see this. Because I'm like, I'm going to have to test every class traits before submitting, before finalizing. And I'll have to do the same thing with their Mundus, everything. There, I've always had, a slightly different things. But this was even more prominent. And I was like, nice. Because the CP system really now opens, well, at least one element of the healing tree will now apply appropriately based on each class healer strengths. And I thought that was ticket. I was like, hell to the Izzy. Hell yeah. So really good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. Good information. Really strong information here. Especially if you're a healer. Depending on what type of healer. So, like Templars. I know they get a, a minor. And all of these are factors. Minors and major scaling will apply an effect to what? Those munduses and those traits. So the sorcerer, as much as I would tell people to slap a powered on all the classes, I wouldn't. Because minor sorcery, major sorcery, any of those effects that get applied during group will scale sorcerer higher based on percentage value. So powered would be, it'll slowly eventually take a back seat in sorcerer. Necro, it wouldn't, because it doesn't get the same passive application. So, and the same thing with Warded, the same thing with Magplar. It's so cool that we see these phenomenal differences. And because now that also opens up from statting. like in your CP system. Because I've said you can go higher if you specialize, but to lose it across the board, that's you base stats is effective regardless. So the question of it is, and once again, I will cover this for my members and member videos, of course, because they deserve it. So we take a look at this, man. Okay, so I got to get the banker out. Okay. All right, come out here. Give me that seducers.
How can I help?
Yeah. All right. So we have our powered. We have our Nirnhoned. Okay. So we're gonna switch it out. Same thing. Only difference is trait. Powered. Tooltip. 7, 5, 8, 9. No, he's done. He has his Undaunted. This build is done. That's my sorcerer's not. So big difference there. Okay. But 7, 5, 8, 9. Okay. We put on the Nirnhoned. Go in. 7, 2. More than a 300-point difference. Now, I know a lot of people might not think that's a lot, but when we specialize and everything, that's significant. 300 is significant. Now, Nirnhoned could supersede, of course, that trait, but for a base effect, that's pretty good. That's a good effect. For example, if I was going to use a spell pot, let me grab some gold.
Hello there.
I don't think I have a spell power potion on me on this tune. Let me see. I do. Okay. Essence of spell power. Okay. So let's take a look with the essence of spell power. Seven, 8. Eight, 2. And powered still hits over on this tune. Now, will that affect the sorcerer different? Yes, because he has an indifferent value. But his passive is what? Contributing to spell damage percentage. So that's why I said Nirnhoned, after you apply the spell power pot, will exceed the powered. And that is where it's at. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So cool. Very cool shit. Very, 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 very cool. I can get away with Nirnhoned for now. I mean, I got another staff. I'll just, trait that one and then powered and give this to the Sork down the road. So he'll get it. It's fine. Anyways, I thought it was cool. I don't know if you guys like that information, but I thought that was so cool. That was definitely worth looking into. And I was like, the more you know. Because the CP system did change quite a number of things. Because I could adjust everything differently on the CP system to an extent, versus, whatever. This new CP system, though, because the way you allot your slottables, right, you're getting different results based on class passives. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we get this effect with the Necro. I get that. I'm understanding it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. But will we have this dramatic push difference between the sorcerer due to its spell power, passive? And it was no. It was a big, fat, resounding no because of my passives, and I didn't know it would come out indifferent. Because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to count. I want to let's just be thrown off by surprise. Let's take a gander at it because I'm already going to trade it. And I looked and I was like, oh my god, thank you for checking this out. Very well worth it. like for example, my blade, I already know my blade's going to use Nirnhoned. Why? He deals damage. If I've tried to put power on my blade before, it always epically fails because I heal less because I'm dealing less damage. It always has epically failed trying to put powered on. But there for a while, my Templar, my Wardens all had powered staffs, and I was like, let's take a look at it, you know. But I'm glad I did it. I am so glad I did it. Okay, so I'm going to queue up the white gold tower. So, because I need spell power, man. I need some more spell power. We need more spell power in our life. Now, eventually I'll go to Cloud Rest. I'll farm up, some of that set. I'll do, Dragon Star. I might do Maelstrom. I might do a build. I'll have to take a look at that one. I honestly like because of Healing Springs, the Master Resto. All of my healers use Healing Springs. So I think that's the one with Healing Springs. But anyways, regardless, I'm always, that was I try to keep a static build for new players. To keep it simple, and then if you want to get in, because you have to keep the orbs, any type of support, or what I'm using, like an orb set, called an orb set. That's going to stay static. They're never going to swap out for that. And Spell Power Cure there for the longest time there was no other set. So a lot of healing configurations consisted of static builds up until Cloud Rest. Now we have a set that does the same effect as Spell Power Cure. And now you can run or you could still utilize a staff, but the thing about it is you give up a monster set, but Sentinel was a really good set for healers, so the justifiable effect was just not to run any master weapon as a healer. And of course that changed due to Cloud Rest, and that was more than welcome, I think, by a lot of the healing community. But my Nightblade's always been a slightly different because he doesn't wear an orb set. The build that I came out with before I left was from the trial in Vardenfeld, Halls of Fabrication, because it's the DPS set. Because when I blow a Warhorn, I apply 2 buffs. I apply that Slayer buff, I apply that buff, and I'm DPSing, and I still have a Spell Power Cure static. And I'm still able to utilize a different staff of choice, actually. Depending. I can utilize the Maelstrom if I wanted to, but typically I didn't. Or you can utilize one of the healing staffs, which is really perked up, because you get that swap. You put the Warhorn on the damage bar. You keep your Nightblade, or you run it static. I ran it static too before, because then I could also apply it during trash with a quick ulti. So I could even do my my one finisher, increase the damage, increase my healing spike. Static, I like a static better, but whatever. But so that build is way different than every other healer build, but it still offers support because it gives buffs. Good stuff. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. We put in the work. I'm putting in work for you guys, man. I'm putting in work. I'm going to find out. I'm not going to just wing it. You know that. But yeah, so all results may vary. Now, the funny thing is, when I found that out, I was like, so every healer will have 3 similar CP configurations, and one will be different for each healer. I'm like, Zoss, I'm impressed. I tip my hat yet again to the new CV system. Yet again. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. I was just, yeah. So every one of my healer builds might have a similar configuration, but they will all be set up slightly different because of their class. So that could mean that depending, they could have similar traits, different munduses, similar munduses, different traits, and different CP allocation based on those configurations. Wow. Wow. Mind blown. Boom. Boom. I was like, whoa. Take it back. Take it back. Wow. Good stuff indeed. Now, I always hate healing, but, healers always get priority towards spell power stuff. So, of course, I'm going to, whatever, get in there. But, yeah, I thought this was really good information. I thought it, because I was like, I'll just go Nirnhoned. Yeah, whatever, man. Shit. But I got two of these staffs. So I was like, okay. I got 2 healing staffs. So I'm like, worst case scenario, one stays Nirnhoned, depending, one will go powered. Well, just so happens he's got the wrong one. He should have the powered. And my Sork should have the Nirnhoned. But he doesn't have the set on yet. He will. But once he's done, he'll be configured correctly. I need that new monster set too. And that's another thing that's going to change. Because my Sork will be, like I said, utilize things slightly different. But, yeah, no, it was amazing. Simply amazing. I was like, whoa, mind blown. Boom. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, totally took in. I was taken for a big surprise, but I loved it, too. I enjoy those things because I keep crying out, stop putting the DPS in the same configuration. Of course, one's going to end up better than the other, you dipshits. Of course they are. Of course. Because when you see it, the first thing I would do is, why is that happening? Not, oh, this class is better. No. I'm going to dissect the passives, and then I'm going to do what? Try to find the indifferent value. Because there is. I just need to find it. And when I do it, that has to do with what? Then deconstructing it mathematically. Percentages, passives, gear, mundus configuration, trait configuration. Once you do that, you can make up a significant amount of lost damage or lost mitigation or lost healing just by doing that, because you have to treat them separate. You have to treat them slightly different. They can have a similar configuration, but there's always going to be something different. There's always going to be. And that's why I said results may vary. Results may vary. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so happy. True. Yep. That's the way it is, man. It's just like, whoa. Well, it's like as soon as I put it on my Sork, I'm like, he's indifferent. He's indifferent. There's an indifferent value staring at me in the face. Right here. There's an indifferent value. And I was like, that's just amazing. And I love it when I find those things. When I find indifferent values in this game, I already know they're there. But just to see it, on a simple trait application without going any further is just, once again, proving my point. There are indifferent values. Not only, why? Because we have diminishing returns. Anytime in mathematical law, it applies. The law of diminishing marginal returns is applied anytime you invest in percentage-based math. Okay, it's a mathematical law. The only thing that offsets the value of diminishing marginal returns are indifferent values. And that always, where you find diminishing returns, there are always indifferent values present somewhere. And sure as shit, boom, on the Sork, it's just A simple trait. I was just like, oh my god. Oh god. Oh, I love it. If I get a Q this year. Of course, I can't do anything in the open world because I'm a healer. I don't deal damage for shit. But like you also notice, like my Warhorn is separate, set up different than my Sork. Why? Because I amplify his healing through his Sork passive, and I put the Warhorn on the back bar. The more you know, the more you know. Because why? I could amplify his wall, but I don't want to amplify his wall. I want to amplify his healing. So amazing. It's amazing stuff, man. I'm so tickled pink. I am so happy, man. I am so happy. That's one thing I loved about this game, man. It challenges you to understand those values. You don't necessarily have to know everything from a meticulous mathematical sense of like breaking it down. As long as you're aware of its presence, you can search and find it. I mean, if you want to get meticulous, I try not to do that for viewers or even myself, because sometimes I really don't want to break out charts and spreadsheets and get in all that stuff. I'm aware of the diminishing return, thus, because of my background, I'm aware of indifferent values, and because of that, I know this game has indifferent values, like most games. The devs control the diminishing value now more so with the new CP system. And the more aware players are that those are factors in their build process, they can basically maximize each class's potential more thoroughly. And to me, that's, relevant. So that's why I get the most enjoyment out of it. I get the most enjoyment from this game because of the simplistic elements that I can make up the differences through the Mundus, the CP, and the traits. I can find those values somewhere along the way. But the problem with meta players, I've always had a problem with, I'm saying idiots, is they never understood those basic fundamental principles to do what? Maximize each class's potential. Instead, they just throw everybody in the same shit, test them on the metrics. Whoever gets the highest is the winner. It seems productive. Not. So it's not productive. It's not a productive result. It's not accurate. It's inaccurate in every conceptual concept, in every conceptual way. You cannot approach these classes the same. You cannot build them the same. They can all have a similar base set. Their secondary sets will differ dramatically. Their munduses will be affected dramatically. Their traits will be their weapon of choice will be changed, right? To maximize that full potential. And that's what I've always said. You want to maximize the class's potential, not throw everybody in the same shit and say, well, this update, it's the Stam Blade over the Stam DK. Stam DK was just hot, but this update, he's not. Because you just threw him in the same shit. And you expected the same results. Doesn't work. Come on, man. Someone cue White Gold Tower. If I have to do normal, I'm going to be peeved. I'll be mad. I'm like, oh, snap. I'll be so peeved. I mean, it's the event. I understand why people don't want to do it, but, people the queues might be popping later this afternoon. I mean, it is daytime. But, still. But regardless, we came, we saw, we was like, something's weird. I like being caught off too. I like being caught by surprise. I love it. I love it. I'm just like, whoa. So, I'm not always right either. And that's the nice thing. Just certain things that I realize, and I like being wrong, believe it or not, a lot. But I'm trying to find ways for me to be wrong. Why? Or because I get an enjoyment out of it. I'm like, oh my god, that is so awesome. That is so cool. And everybody's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh my god, because you just can't assume. You just can't. If you try to assume that everything applies, it's set in stone, you'll be gravely disappointed. Get it? Set in stone, gravely disappointed. So, yeah. So, interesting stuff. I'm so whatever. I hate being on a healer. Because I'm not on my DPS where I can just go around and do stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bored. I'm just hopping around, waiting for queues. Nobody's queuing. White Gold Tower. Now everybody's like, I'm not doing White Gold Tower. Why would I want to go do White Gold Tower? Anyhow, might not even get it. Damn it, Jim. Zai, dude, Zai, did you get my mail, dude? Did you get my email, Zai? I really want to test something with you because I think you'll be able to break things down a little bit on the same thing. And I hope you got that email, dude. It was so crazy, man. I'm so happy with the devs, especially with the CP change now more than ever. I was like, I'm tickled pink. Especially when these healer builds come out, because I was like, yeah, we'll do the 3 and we'll take this, and we couldn't inflate this value. But then when I saw that the trait difference, and I was like, on each tune, based on the percentage, I was like, oh my god, that means the CP system changes one value on each. I was so happy, dude. I felt like a little kid. I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh god, I was so happy, man. The devs did a great job. Such a good job. Oh my. They did such a phenomenal job. I think there's still room, a little improvements here or there. Things but they can expand on it. That's what's so cool. The new CP system, the one thing I like about it, it's not, it doesn't have that problematic element that because at some point the diminishing value ceases for gain, right? We know that. No matter how many points you may put in, gain ceases to exist. One thing about studying like inflated economics is you understand at some point inflation turns ugly. At some point, right? But the one thing, and it was problematic, and they adjusted it accordingly. They really addressed the benefits of specialization and room for growth, and I really like this. I like this whole new setup a lot better. I did get it, but ESO doesn't have a reply function. Oh, got you. I'm flooded with time-wise. Yeah, I figured, man. Right now, though, so not a lot of time to do other stuff. That set doesn't stack, however, which is a shame. Oh, that's what I was wanting to know. One of the factors I wanted to know if it stacked. Right. That's the one thing I really was hoping. Now, there was another thing I wanted to know, too. Not besides the stack effect. Not besides that. if so it doesn't stack on both. So on neither stacks, like if say if somebody's in the middle, they won't stack, they won't get double effect, and the tanks can't benefit from it. There was one other thing I wanted to test too. If it cancels one out, if one of the other cancels out, do you know if that's the case? Because or does it apply to 12 people? Is it limited to only 4, and does it apply to 12? Because if it applies to 12, I think that's a really more underestimated set. But if it only applies to a small group, a 4-man, well, you know, and it still has pros, but with some limitation. So, you guys know who Zynode is. If you guys don't know this man, you guys better be going over there. Duh. Duh! This is my homie from back in the day. When we were fighting them all off. Get back. Back off. We don't listen to you. We calculate. We trial and error. This is, you know, I was telling a couple of viewers about a week ago, like we're kind of kindred spirits in a lot of ways. Nobody's queuing this. We're kindred spirits because you do the same thing I do. You don't configure all your stand classes the same, or any of your mags. You never configure everybody the same way. Even if they have a similar setup, there's slight deviations and differences. And I'm like, and if you watch Zai, that's what I said. I was like, if you watch Zai, he does the same thing I do. He knows you cannot configure everybody in the same setup because you end up hindering them. You end up making them worse. And I'm like, me and Zai are kindred spirits in that element. You know, but I never try to bash anybody's builds. You know, I don't care what anybody runs. Here's the thing I always ask. Are you clearing content? If you're clearing content, you like that build, hey man, more power to you. I wouldn't say anything's ever best in slot because of math. But other than that, wait, what you said again? Maybe thinking the wrong one. The grave one. The game is built on the foundation of choice, so I show people how to. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, dude. Right. And you can make up those values and, you know, get different results based on what your choice is. Right. But that's the one thing. Like I've always said, man, if you ever, I haven't seen any of your builds lately. Somebody asked me if I've seen one of them recently or something. But I was like, if you watch Zai, I already know. I'm like, I already know. Zai does not configure everybody the same. They could even have a similar setup, like a base setter. I don't know what you've done lately. I haven't checked out some of your builds or whatever. But I said, if you watch, he will have slight, you know, differences here and there to maximize that class's performance and it's that configuration. And he will, you know, and that's why I tell people, it's the grave one. I'll get on my tank. Because I'm not getting a queue anyways. So, but that was really good because I had to replace Eben. I was like, well, me and Saiyan from Saiyan Gaming was having this conversation. Saiyan brought up, you know, the fact, you know, because of the stat increase, Eben kind of lost a little bit of its luster. And I was like, yeah, I agree, dude. I totally agree. Question of it is, a lot of people, what do you want to put in that? A lot of tanks, I guess, were complaining, we don't have a lot of options. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. We're so limited. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I'm like, what? When was that a thing? Like, Zoz doesn't make tank sets? Yeah, they make tank sets. There's tons of tank sets out here. Question of it is, which ones do you want to utilize? You know? And I came across this in a dungeon, and I farmed the shit out of it on stream. I was like, I'm going back in the vet. Go. Farm. Because I love it so much. I love it. I love this set. It's one of my new favorites, man, for a base set. I mean, on this configuration, I'm using this in pack with infused crushers, but it's blah blah. The Grave Guardian. I'm wondering if this only applies. It says to your nearby group members. Is that limited to 4 or does that apply to 12? Because prior to the application, we're sitting at 24 and 24, right? And then all of a sudden when we apply and go in, now, oh, hold on. Just better. 1 second. 26 and 26. Oh, gotta do it quick. It might have fixed the screen. Anyways, you can get the it applies up to 30,000. So when you add this, you got 30, and then you do that, and then you get 34. There it is, 34. So the question of it is, does that apply to more than 4 players? So say if I had 6 players in a raid group, would it extend? Stuff like that usually covers 6 unless it states 12. Okay, well that's good to know, because if it is 6, the only thing I wanted it to apply for is stand players. And the warden, the mind is limited. The options are many. Thank you, deep brother, deep. However, you can have 2 groups. Yeah, see? That's what I was thinking, man. So the new configuration, well, I mean, yeah, even if it was limited, it applies to the radius of the stand players. So Warden Tank, I apply, when I give them my major buff, you know this. This applies to everybody, the major resolve. So you apply this, but 6,000, apply the grave, you just gave your stand DPS in that pocket 10,000 resistance. And what do they usually die from? What's Stam's one major problem? Avoiding mechanics that get him killed. Now we just gave him, now put that on a Stam sword because he's already got a base of 20. He now has 30,000 resistance. He doesn't have to get out. He can just block through it. I mean, now you're basically giving them 10,000 on a Warden Tank. Now this configuration goes on a couple of my builds, except my support tanks. My support tanks are more built for off-tanking if they were thrown in a trial scenario, but majority of the time I just keep them to, specified content. But it was dirty. Yep, did this on PTS live stream a while back ago. Lord Warden, Major Resolve, Grave Guardian, Beacon Steel. See, dude, that's amazing. See, I love this type of configuration. It keeps the Stam in the pocket. Did you try it in a trial scenario? Because I'm interested in how that affects certain trial bosses. I know in dungeons, it's way feasible. But in trial scenarios, just because we see application doesn't always mean it's, practical. People were so hard to kill. Nice. Awesome. They don't, but you can coordinate. Absolutely. Nice. Guys, you guys better be subscribed to this, man. I'm serious. Yeah. See, I knew you would be picking it apart too. Because I was like, I like this application. I like Torok's Pack with it. The funny thing is I'm using tremor scale. It's that reduction of 2-3. Add that with infused, pack 1357. Now, I've exceeded the friggin' Alkosh. Now I've exceeded Pen on Alkosh. I mean, if I wanted, if somebody wanted to run in pack, I think they had a build with in pack and Alkosh. I don't know. Like I said, I don't main tank in this game, but typically you could do something like that. But just for purpose of mitigating effects, because this is now a 7 heavy build. That's why I extended the 7 heavy. Not to say a 5-1 still wouldn't work in certain setups, a 5-1-1, but I figured the mitigating effect, was well worth it given the Constitution value increase. But in my opinion, obviously you're slower, But I mean, there's some of that offsetted into the new CP system. So hey, why not? So I was like, I like it. I like this setup. I really think it really works out nice. You know, considerably. Let's just say you don't need to kite meteors and bloom on. No, no way. Oh, really? Dude. See, I knew you had to put it in an application. See, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, Evan is a good set. It is. I would never have taken it away prior, but after this application, Sand made a good point. I was like, it did kind of lose it's a little bit of bump. So a lot of people are having this problem, and I'm like, I like Grape Guardian. I really like it just for the fact that I could put my stamp. I could put my stamp up in this pocket, man. I could put them up in there. I like that. I really like that. I like this application a little bit better. I really do. I like the tremor scale effect. It feels like everything was always set up towards mag at one time, but we can always push more towards the stand values too. So, and I think tremor scale really lends itself for that. So, I like it a lot. Yeah, Nova Permafrost with the soft stack, no overstack, and you can stand there and out heal it. See, dude, dude, I swear. I was telling people one day I'm gonna have to get with you just so we can just screw off or do some stuff. But I know you're busy too, so I try not to take your time. You're a busy man. But yeah, no, I think this was something I was really wanting to look forward to because I was like, I just see a lot of potential with the application. I've been gone for 2 years, man. So a couple of the things like I like to go with people who are a little bit more who's going to take it a little bit more serious, you do, and say, hey, okay, if we do this, what are we losing? What are we gaining? Does the pros outweigh the cons? How can we apply this? Across the board. Can we apply it across the board? Do we have to make these adjustments somewhere? Things like that. But because that's one thing I don't like about certain content creators. That's I how I am on that. I really have problems with a lot of that stuff, man. So, but we do it. You've kept the torch alive. I wish you would have gotten into certain DK healing and Nightblade healing, but it's fine. I mean, my viewers, that's one thing they were happy about me coming back in. Got a lot of healing build requests. I'll get those out first. I will get those out first. And there's been a lot of positive changes. So I was like, well, yeah, we'll get the healers stuff, taken care of. And the results, man, like I said, it's interesting. And I'm so happy about what Zos did. Well, we'll get there one day. Definitely, man. We definitely got to hook up, you and I. We're in the same guild. I'm in your guild, dude. So get a hold of me. Not enough time to do it. I know, dude. But there is a warden one and helped many others make them too. Nice. Excellent, man. Excellent. Guys, better be checking it out. Not enough hours. No, I imagine not. That the players get to enjoy it. Some players can just pick up our builds or pick up what we're giving them. And I always tell people there's never one wrong way to approach something. Fundamentals just need to be applied. The fundamentals are there, and that's why I said, and you like it, roll with it. You clear content, good. And that's what I think every content creator's goal is, ideally. But content creators don't get to enjoy the game in the same context. For us, it's trying to find something that we missed or something new that nobody else has caught onto. Not because it's a competition, it's because that crash. Said valid internet. That's not right. Anyways, what we might have missed or what's new or what's changed with each update, because those are factors. And that's not because we want to. I personally, it's for me. It's not that I want to feel relevant, more relevant than a player. Though, like I said, I came into this game and everybody was wearing Twiceborn Star and they had Sharpen on Magic Tunes. Okay, that's interesting. But that's what I walked into. That's what I came into, and that's why it irked me and made me become a content creator. Anyways, dude, I have to jump out. Lots to do. Get food. Hey, have a good one, man. You guys better be go check out my dude here for life. My man, Nirnhoned. Guys, go check him out. He's got always some good information. We put in work. We put in work. Believe you it. Believe you and me, guys. We put in work. We do it for you guys. We do it because we got love for our community. Even though a lot of people hate my guts. But a few people like me. So let's keep it going. All right, I'm going to get off. I'm going to try to figure out something to do. Maybe I'll get in there later because that's the only thing I really wanted. I wanted to do White Gold Tower. It is events. I can understand why a lot of people don't want to queue it. Whatever. But, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. As always, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. Peace.